Hello. So how do we find socially generated data like census and demographics and incidences of cancer and who produces the most pollution and so on and so forth? We've got this great tool called Social Explorer, which takes a lot of the guesswork and a lot of the research out of it, and it's a pretty graphical format. So follow along with me, if you will. So here's the library catalog. We are going to databases. The name of this database is called Social Explorer. So we'll go into the letter S, as in Stanley or Sarah. Social Explorer is this one right here. There are many what's called data sets. And when you represent it on a map, you can do one set at a time, or you can do comparisons. We're going to do a really simple one where we just look at one data set. But you can look all over the country if you want to, or you can go down to zip code. So there's several things to look at here. There's tables, data dictionary, all this other stuff. We're just going to click on Explore Maps. When you're in that, then it's going to say, well, what map do you want to look at? And you can see all sorts of different things here. Just to keep it simple, let's go to United States. We won't use the old version. We'll just click on Explore. Once you're in this cool section, it'll show you the United States. And by default, it goes by population density. You can even see right here what they're looking at per square mile. So you can see out here in Utah, not a lot of people live here. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of people that live here, but if you spread it out over the whole state, but you can see if you go back east, there's quite a bit. So let's change our data set. You can go into different states, but we're just going to go by data sets, and then I'm going to show you how to zoom in and zoom out and see what you're looking for. When you click on the data, there's all these different things that you can go to. A lot of this is from a census, and you can go way back and see census questions from like 100 years ago or so. We could just stick to most recent. Let's do income. This one's kind of fun. So this is a tragedy, frankly, but if you click on this one, you can see where there are households, entire households, living on an income of less than $10,000 a year. And you can see, or you could close this bit too, but you can see it's interesting. Like Mississippi, 10% of the population, so there's a bit of poverty. If you can zoom in using, if you have a mouse with a mouse wheel on it, you can zoom in and out. You can also hit plus or minus here. And you can see in Utah, and there's a gradation here of like greater or lesser, but you can see San Juan County arguably is the poorest county in Utah based on this one metric. Now, did you see where I made a correlation right there? The data is just data, and then people can interpret it different ways. So be careful with stuff like that, but I am going to ask you to interpret the data. So what if we wanted to look at something else? So I'm going to change the data, and then you just back up with this arrow right here. And I'm going to scroll down further in all this data set, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of other data that's on here too. So there's industry that's valuable for trade and things like that. You can look at religion, predominant religion. But there's also this cool one related to the environment. And these are sometimes triggered by government grants, and studies are done. I'm going to look at total cancer. Cancer rates are a big deal because you want to see if there's like something environmental going on causing it. So let's click on 2013. And I'm going to look at total cancer deaths, but you could go into like age groups and all sorts of things like this. And it might be data like this that help discover issues related to EPA Superfund sites or the downwinders when open-air nuclear testing was going on. But if you click on total cancer deaths, it'll change your data set, and it changes the color. But you can see the darker the color, the more incidences of cancer there are in Utah. If it's gray, that means there's no data available. I'm surprised that there's a lot for Box Elder County, but there's none down here, especially like Grand County, because there's uranium mining down there. But if you see here, in Salt Lake, we have 105 per 100,000 people have died of cancer. But if you go down here to Carbon County, it's almost twice that. What's going on with that? What I would like you to do in this assignment all you have to do is you don't have to make any statements. You can if you want to. But what I would like you to do is look at a metric related to your topic somehow, whether it's income or population or health indicators like this or any number of bits of data. But I would like you to find some place in the United States, because this is usually just US data, but I'd like you to compare two places with each other. If you can do a screen capture, that's great, but all I'm looking for is that metric. So if you're looking for cancer, for example, you could say in Twin Falls, Idaho, it's at 163 per 100,000. And if you go to Salt Lake City, it's 105. So that's all you have to do, is make a comparison. And then we'll move on. Hopefully you can find something that's significant in what you're looking for that's related to your topic, but I won't ask you to go that far today. That's all you have to do.